What's up, guys? It's Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions. Thank you for tuning back into another episode. So we have a mail call from my buddy at Tier1, but the truth is that's no longer his logo. So if you happen to search for him on YouTube, you will find it under that particular logo. He's a cool cat. Justin is just, he's a really, really nice individual, and he actually sent me two knives from Finch to go ahead and check out. Now, Finch knives are actually designed from Stillwell, Kansas. They have some really cool designs that merge the knives from old to like a newer age, metallurgy and newer age materials to kind of combine themselves into a really, really cool setup. He was kind enough to go ahead and send me two knives from them. One of them is the Holliday and the other one is the Cimarron. I believe that's the way it's called, the Cimarron. We're going to go ahead and check both of them out from Finch, so stay tuned. After this intro, we're going to go ahead and look into both the Cimarron and the Holliday. Guys, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to Daily Carry Solutions. So like I said, Justin from Tier1 was kind enough to go ahead and send me a few knives to check out from Finch. They are designed out of Kansas, but they are made in China. So just keep that in mind. Even though, the designer and everything is an American made, it's like saying, Dirk Pinkerton knife from the US that is designed by a production company overseas. Still great quality, and on a lot of them they are using US materials, but they are manufactured overseas, which helps the designer and the company, save a buck to give you more for your money. So that being said, we're going to start off with this particular knife right here. Really awesome Wharncliffe design from Finch Knives called the Holliday. So now that particular knife is spelled Holliday. So it's Holiday with an extra L in it, if you will. This particular version is model number HL402 with black linen micarta on both sides. It is a frame lock, and the blade steel on this one is 154 cm. Let me go ahead and put this to the side right here and show off the specs right here, so you can go ahead and see what really makes up the full meat and potatoes of how this knife was brought to the knife world. Now, on to a few things that I thought were really cool about this knife. I'm going to go ahead and give you just a once over so you can see what it looks like from the front, from the lock face right there, flip side, and the rear. Now, the knife, as you can see here, is a very nice satin blade, very beautiful blade edge right there. Nice Wharncliffe. I like me some Wharncliffes. It's a pretty basic kind of blade there. It's a kind of a naked blade, and just has a Finch there, so you know that it is from Finch Knives. And you have the name of the knife as well as the steel designation. Nice satin blade. Wharncliffes are just a fantastic all-around knife because it allows you to be able to get and utilize as much of the blade as possible, as well as just that tip that's great for just piercing and just nice precision cuts. It's a decent sized knife. As you can see, it's something that I can kind of get all four fingers on and utilize the jimping that's back here. It's pretty basic design. It almost looks blocky at the very beginning, and then it just provides a little bit of curvature here because of the blade. The knife itself runs off of bearings, and the flipper, because of the jimping that's on here, it's done in such a way that it just makes the knife just a pleasure to be able to utilize, and then just kind of get that nice purchase, because of that jimping here, and it does not feel like I really don't sense any hot spots in the hand. And aside from that, one thing that really intrigued me was how this actually sits in the pocket. Now, this is not a deep clip by any means, any shape of the word, but when I put this into my pocket, this actually got low enough to where you couldn't even really tell that it's a pocket knife. And a lot of that is lent by its shape and just the general design of the pocket clip and the just the handle itself. So I think that's really cool. You do get the Finch logo embedded into, let's see if I can show it. That's actually embedded as like into the inlay. which is on the actual scales themselves. And I haven't looked up the specs on this, and you'll have to forgive me. I would have shown it in the specifications for it, but I'm pretty sure that these would be either stainless steel, which actually no, these would be titanium scales. Based on the weight, it doesn't really feel like it's too heavy, so I'm gonna go ahead and bet them as titanium scales with the linen micarta, the black linen micarta. It's nice and smooth, and then you have that Finch inlaid logo right there, and you have the black linen micarta on the other side, which actually covers the frame lock, which engages once the knife itself is flipped. So that right there is the Holliday from Finch Knives. All right, guys, and now for knife number 2, as provided by Justin over at Tier1, we have the Cimarron, which is this bad boy right here. There's quite a bit that I'd like to actually talk about this one. This one comes with Sandvik steel. This is 14C28N steel. You do have the steel designation and the name on one side, and you do have the Finch designation on the other side. Now, the scales themselves, they do have nested liners inside. This is a liner lock, and this is actually gray G10 with a black overlay, and you can actually see that when you look at it from the side profile. Okay, and just so you can see what I'm talking about, this is just the show side. Let me go ahead and open it here. Here's the show side. Here's the lock side. Here is the clip side and the back side, the booty, if you will. All right, now, the overall length on this one is just under 8 inches. It actually sits a little bit longer than the Holliday, as you can see here. The Cimarron is actually 7.9 inches, so it's just under 8 inches in length. You get a blade length of 3.4 inches. You get a handle length of 4.5 inches. And in all honesty, it feels like a smaller knife, and it definitely handles like a smaller knife due to the fact that the blade itself, while the handle is nice and robust and it gives you enough to be able to get a nice purchase on it, the blade itself looks more gentlemanly, almost like actually, you know what, it actually reminds me of a knife that I have from Artisan Cutlery, and it's this guy right here. Now, this is the mini version, but this is the Mini Shark, and as you can see, there are a lot of similarities with regards to the blade itself. It's kind of like they're cousins, if you will, you know? So, but again, this is actually a brass model that I had personalized. This is a 1-of-1 that was done by BJ Hill. Cool cat, and a shout out to BJ for doing that for me. This is actually my custom brass version, or excuse me, my bronze version. Actually, no, wait, that's the brass. Okay, so back to the Cimarron. You have a very light bead blast on this particular knife, as opposed to the satin blade on the Holliday, and you have a titanium pocket clip, which, I mean, if you know a little bit about knives, usually they're gonna provide like a cheaper pocket clip and then just kind of concentrate on higher materials in places that you are definitely going to be seeing, like better blade steel, better materials for the knife. But Finch, for this particular knife, they did provide a titanium pocket clip on this one, and just the weight itself, from the specs that I had seen, and I'll go ahead and provide the specs right now so you can see them. It is weighing at just over 3.1 ounces. So it's 3.1 ounces on this knife. And even at that, in truth, that still makes it a very formidable, larger size EDC that doesn't look overly, tactical. It's a nice, working knife, and it's very comfortable in the hand because of the fact that the G10, while it's, it's a larger, handle for me to be able to go ahead and, utilize when I go ahead and I operate it. The G10 makes it nice and manageable. It keeps it a little bit more down to earth. If it was something more like titanium and something like that, I would say, you know what, this may not be for me, but that G10 actually really helps the knife for me personally. So now that the Cimarron and the Holliday are here, Cimarron being 14C28N steel and the Holliday being 154 cm steel, I'm going to go ahead and take out a few knives that I have available, just kind of compare them, you did already see this guy right here, which is the Artisan Cutlery Mini Shark. So I'll go ahead and put that there. All right, put that to the side. I have the Little Main Street from Dirk Pinkerton. Super small, super slicey knife from Concept Knives. And let's see what else. I have my Kaiser clutch right here. Carlos Elsner design. This is the titanium and micarta variant. What else? What else we got? This is the USA made Kershaw bare knuckle. 14C28N steel, just like the Cimarron. Great knife as well, slightly bigger than both. All right, and let's see here, what else we got? Okay, I got my Spyderco Pair 3, S30V steel, USA made. Slightly, actually, you know what? Very close in overall dimensions to the Holliday, if I might add, but still slightly smaller than the Cimarron. And I'm hoping I'm saying that Cimarron correctly. I have the ProTech SPR, which is a Les George design. And last but not least, just to kind of throw something unique in there, I have a Bob Ross Pez dispenser. So you can go ahead and use that as a method of dimensions. All right, so my thoughts on these two. Personally, I'm gonna go out and say it. The Cimarron is a nice knife, and it's about the size, about as large as a size that I will get to with an EDC knife, but I much prefer the Holliday. Now, I'm not saying that because of blade steel. Number one, I do like the grind. I like that flat grind on the Holliday. I do like the action a lot better. You can feel it. It's just that nice drop shot action, and then just the deployment from the flipper tab is just fantastic. It's a really cool, you know, throwback to like old school looking knives. It kind of reminds me of like the old school like stiletto, but you know, designed more of a functional, you know, new age kind of flipper. I like the fact that it has 154 cm steel. I like the fact that more companies are using it instead of using something like Sandvik 14C28N and 440C and D2, that sort of thing. Don't get me wrong, they are great steels, but I think that, you know, 154 cm is a nice medium between budget and performing. So that's something that I like to see. I love the fact that this has that Warncliffe, you know, blade shape, and you're gonna get that better lockup because of the fact that it is indeed a frame lock. You have the micarta scales that, while they are smooth, they actually feel really good in the hand. You don't feel that cold metal. And in truth, this pocket clip, man, it speaks to me. It looks so aesthetically pleasing, and it actually functions extremely well. So of the two, this is actually one of my favorites. Now, granted, this is a study of two of you know, Finch knives. Justin over at T1 was cool enough to go ahead and send these over, and in truth, there are so many more in the Finch knife company catalog. Granted, these are made in China, but a lot of them use U.S. made products and materials that go into the blades, and they are designed, you know, here in the USA, particularly, like I said before, Stillwell, Kansas. But you know, once they are shipped overseas and they're being manufactured, they are not in Kansas anymore, ladies and gentlemen. They are in the hands of people who really need to make these done right, or else Finch knives is going to be a thing of today, and then later a thing of the past. And I don't foresee that to be an issue with these knives, especially with the way these are made, because of the fact that I mean, just the way that they are designed and the way that they you know, seem to be like just so usable. Especially this guy. This guy really floored me when I looked at it. I've been dying to go ahead and check this one out in person. I'm really glad that this one actually got to, you know, to pass through and to get some pocket time with me, because I am really feeling this knife. Super cool. So there you have it, folks. You have the Cimarron and you have the Holliday. Which one of these two is your favorite? Just for shits and giggles, please feel free to go ahead and let me know. Sound off below in the comments. And if you have any questions about these two, you can feel free to go ahead and hit up Justin at T1 or, excuse me, at Tier 1, or you can hit me up, comment below, Or yeah, you can go ahead and reach me via email, dailycarrysolutions@gmail.com, or my Instagram @dailycarrysolutions. Now, just remember, guys, whether you have a USA made folder that has a USA designer and USA materials, or you have a US designed and US material folder that is produced overseas like Holliday and the Cimarron, just remember, if you EDC, think of DCS. Guys, you've been great. I'm Carlos. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, I put some pocket time with this guy right here. Take care, guys. Peace.